Going on?
Okay, I can hear y'all now. All right, what's good?
Man, another day. A lot of exciting news out there. So,
Man,
let's get this started, Amos, because it sounds like you're all in on trading D'Angelo Russell, right? Or Paul George.
okay.
Am I getting the
All
sense
right.
that you want to just make an even trade? Because you posted that FS1 link on the Herald about that one guy, I forgot his name, just offering D'Angelo Russell.
Yeah,
Paul George.
Jason McIntyre. All right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna get into it. Okay, so this is my whole point. Okay, I don't want the Lakers to trade. I'd rather just wait a whole nother year. But if we're going to trade, logically, it makes sense if Paul George is going to be our shooting guard to trade him and, I don't know, someone else, but someone not that valuable, like someone else, like throw in, I can't even think. I wish they would take Miles Golf, take something like that, and just pair him up, just like Jason McIntyre was saying. Pair him up with Miles Turner instead of getting rid of Randall. Like, yeah, I do like Larry Nance, but I just want to have like two of them there instead of just one there. Like, I'd rather have those two. And it's just like D'Lo, to me, I don't think he's going to be better than Paul George. So, like, he's not going to be happy sitting on the bench. So, logically, it just makes sense. Like, just if you're going to trade him, just send him over there so he could start and he could go make his money over there, and we can get started with the Paul George, Ingram, Lonzo Ball experiment.
Okay. And what's the rumor right now? So Julius Randle, the 28th pick, and who?
And Jordan Clarkson and someone else.
Okay, so Jordan Clarkson, Julius Randle, and the 28th pick, right?
Yeah, something like that.
So that's too much. Like I said in the group text, I think that's way too much to give up.
I agree.
I do agree with you. D'Angelo Russell is going to want to start eventually. I mean, he in his eyes he has a bright future, and I don't think he'll be content coming off the bench. And if we are going to draft Lonzo Ball, if the Lakers are going to draft Lonzo Ball, and we have Ingram and Paul George, then really we don't need D'Angelo Russell. So I do agree with you there.
But before you finish, this is what I was going to say too. Okay, let's say that Paul George, we don't trade for him, and we just wait until next year. Like, I'm cool with D'Lo being the shooting guard, but like I said, once he signs, he's going to have to take that backup role. And if I'm him, I want out. Like, no, like if he's as good as people are saying that he's possibly going to be, and I'm him, no, like, I do not want to sit on the bench. Just trade me. Like, just get it over with now. Trade me to the Pacers or whatever the case may be so I can go start and go make my money, if that's the case. Because I'm not about to sit on the bench if I'm going to be, like, as good as people say I'm supposed to be and Paul George is there. Like, it just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, and the team has been public that they're building around Ingram. And, yeah, they've been putting D'Angelo Russell in trade rumors. I mean, I think it's pretty clear that the Lakers aren't fully committed to D'Angelo Russell, and given the right opportunity, they'd let him go. I mean, especially with him drafting Lonzo Ball. So I definitely agree with you there. For me, it's just tough. Like, I don't know what I'm willing to give up, really, for Paul George. But because I know if he really wants to play with us, then any team that trades for him will just be a rental. But if Cleveland trades for him and they have Cleveland and they make a title run, I mean, Paul George with LeBron James and Kyrie Irving, I mean, that's a scary team, even though I do think the Warriors would still beat them. But that guy did make a great point. What player has played with LeBron and then left? That idea might kind of be taunting and might be scary. So, I mean, that might be some incentive to trade for him, but I really just don't want to give up too much. If we have to do a straight-up trade, D'Angelo Russell for Paul George, I think I would do it. But also keep in mind, we still have Jordan Clarkson who we're still paying. So, I mean, if we can also do Jordan Clarkson and somebody else, that also does take a hit, and then we could use D'Angelo Russell for trade bait later on down the road. So, I mean, I know he's going to want out, but there's plenty of time to trade him before it's time for him to really go out.
Okay, so what about Jordan as the sixth man?
I mean, he's been the sixth man. Like that's kind of the direction they're going. Is Jordan cool with that? Like, has he embraced that role?
I can't even answer that question. Yeah.
I think he might be all right because he's gotten paid, so he made he's got his little $50 million contract. But I mean, yeah, he's probably trying to get that $100 million contract next because he's still a young player. So that's the other thing. It's going to be tough, man. I just want Paul George to just come in free agency. But I also do want the Lakers to, like, if we show him, like, look, we're willing to trade for you now, commit long term, Lonzo Ball, Paul George, Ingram.
Yeah, I mean,
but what if say we don't trade for him? What if Brandon Ingram has a very average season next year, right? And when we start to think like, oh, what if Brandon Ingram really isn't that guy? And then we have D'Angelo.
I got the answer for that.
What?
Okay, now is Paul George on the team or he's still a free agent?
He's still a free agent. Okay, say the Pacers are like, okay, we're gonna try to trade him by the trade deadline instead of by the off season. What if they're to the Lakers? And Brandon Ingram's just like, damn, like, I don't think he's going to be that good of a player. Like, we just start to see it, right? And then we're like, okay, we can keep D'Angelo Russell and have him at the 2 and then bring in Paul George at the 3. And then, we're not really committed to Ingram long term. Like, we're still just going to test that out. At that point, are you willing to trade D'Angelo Russell?
If that's the case, then I would rather trade Ingram if he's not going to be that good.
Because what's the point of having him stick around, like even coming off the bench?
No, like he's too young. And see, we got to get to the point where we start making people desperate enough to take like what we're giving them. So like him being young, you can convince another team like, hey, just this wasn't the right place. If he goes to wherever such and such team, I guess it would be the Pacers. Like, hey, he might be able to find his stride with Miles Turner. Like, you got to do something like that. Like, these dudes are too young to just be on the bench and just like have them there. Like, yeah, like in a ideal world, yeah, like it sounds good, but it's just like there's no way these guys are just gonna stay quiet. Like, you're gonna hear stuff leak through the media or wherever, through their camp. So it's like, no, like, regardless, like, one or two of these guys are going to be gone in the future. Like, it's not like all of them are going to stay. But I just think for the sake of the team, and like I said, logically speaking, if you're going to have George as the 2, just like he's trying to make it a smooth transition, just make it smooth for D'Angelo. Like, yo, we gonna get this guy. We gonna send you to Indiana, and you gotta figure out from there. Like, it is what it is. Like, you just have to figure out from there. Now, it'd be different. Like, if it was like, I'm trying to think of a really good power forward, like almost like a superstar power forward. I can't think of the name right. You said Anthony Davis?
Paul Millsap?
Millsap's good.
Like a superstar, just like an average, like all-star power forward.
Or Blake Griffin.
I guess I'm thinking of a superstar. Because what I'm trying to explain is like I'm all for like if we could get a superstar power forward, then I would have no problem getting rid of Randall. But, like, it's just weird to me the thought of, like, getting rid of Randall to get Paul George.
Yeah.
I'm saying, like, in that trade, and then, like, we still have D'Angelo.
Mm-hmm. The thing about power forwards right now is I don't think they're as good as they were, like, 5 years ago. Remember, like, 5 years, like, when Kevin Love was in his prime, like, or getting those ridiculous numbers in Minnesota, like, Aldridge was balling, like, you still had Dirk.
Yeah,
Griffin. Like, you still had, like, a plethora, like, Zach Randolph, like, Blake Griffin, like, entering his prime, like, so I don't like all those power forwards. Like right now, we just have Anthony Davis, Draymond Green, like and then you have like Paul Millsap. Like the power forward position isn't as stacked as it has been. And then power forwards are now like stretch forwards and they're either stretch forwards or they're like utility men like Draymond Green who could do it all. Like that's why I like Julius Randle because he could dribble out the break and get the rebound, dribble, create the fast break. He's great at passing and setting players up. My thing is he just needs to get a damn right hand and finish better around the rim and a shot.
And make better decisions by passing.
Yeah, like he when he's on he could play make and everything, but some of these he'll make boneheaded kind of he doesn't know how to switch gears smoothly. Those veteran players that know how to accelerate at the right time, make the right play, just kind of be smooth with it. Especially when the pressure's on.
I guess, for me, obviously I am a Randall fan, and it's I never thought he was going to be a superstar. I still don't think that's going to happen. No, I always visualize him as a young baby Zach Randolph, but, much more mature.
But he's
and,
different.
Much more
because Zach Randolph's not getting the ball and dribbling forward, pressing the break, running, as the point forward. But he's got the left hand. Zach Randolph more of a post player. But yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I just feel like not every player is going to be a star, and I feel with Laker fans in general, a lot of our fans are really spoiled, so they just expect whoever we draft to just be great on day one or wherever the case may be. And I feel with Randall, he's such a player, he's just a player that's he's not consistent every single game in terms of scoring and stuff like that, but he's so consistent with effort. I think he really wants to be really good. I do think he has a chip on his shoulder. I just think he needs time, just like the rest of the guys. So it just irritates me when people just think of him automatically as far as trading, but then don't say nothing about D'Lo as if D'Lo hasn't been inconsistent. Yes, he has made some improvements, but it's dude, he's not the point guard that people were trying to hype him up to be when he was in the draft. He hasn't been that guy. And, that's why I was cool with him being 2 towards the end of the season, because I did see improvement. But, as a point guard, I don't want him to be a point guard. I just don't. All the stuff that people were saying, I don't see it. So that's why I want Lonzo Ball there, because at least if we have one more year with him, he can really excel more as a shooting guard, and then we can just go from there just in case, this Paul George thing doesn't work out, which I do think it's going to work out. I do kind of, I'm one of those people who believe in destiny, so I am kind of, throwing it out there with Paul George. But, yeah, I kind of hope he doesn't go to the Cavaliers because, that other dude was saying, Jason, I don't know if he would leave, even if they lose or when they lose to the Warriors again. I don't know, if he would leave. I don't.
Yeah. It could be scary. Especially once he gets that pace of the finals. I mean, he's going to want to come back.
Yeah. Well, the thing with the Cavs is, the Cavs are, dude, it's only a couple more years left, dude. They're about to be dismantled. Dude, they're in chaos. You're making decisions without your GM, and then you decide to let him go now, now, while you're trying to make these trades. And I just read.
Dude, right now is a crucial time. Like, if I'm the owner, if I'm Dan Gilbert, I'm solidifying David Griffin as my GM before the off season. Like, this man has pulled off everything he possibly could to make this team great with minor adjustments. I mean, getting Mozgov last year, or a couple of years ago, that was key. I mean, trading for J.R. Smith and Shumpert was pretty key. Like, the only kind of knock on him is overpaying players, but that's only due to the pressure of LeBron James saying, pay J.R., pay Tristan, pay everybody, but I don't know. Maybe they got a backup plan, but I do believe LeBron James is going to the Clippers in 2018, and the Cavs will be down at the bottom of the league. So, Kyrie Irving, get ready for the Cavs fans to love Kyrie some more, because that's what we're about to get.
Okay, so before we get to 2018, do you have love?
Even though I believe Kyrie Irving is a free agent coming up, like, in a few years too, so he'll probably be out too. But,
same with Westbrook and Anthony Davis, I think, too.
Do you have love traded this season though?
Do I have who?
Love, Kevin Love.
The only way I see that happening is if they're trading for Paul George, which I don't think Indiana would trade for, or Paul George. I mean, Paul George or Carmelo Anthony maybe. But even though that doesn't make sense for the Knicks to get Kevin Love, because with Kristaps, like, you need a guard. Like, I don't know.
What about Jimmy Butler?
Well, I think with the Knicks, because y'all continue.
I don't think Chicago would want Kevin Love either. Like, Kevin Love is.
I get scared every time Kevin Love has the ball.
He's just not that dude from Minnesota anymore. I think he's become too much of like a pretty boy type of basketball player since he's left Minnesota. You don't see him like banging down low, getting rebounds. Plus, like, if you look at Kevin Love when he had that shaved head, he was a bigger dude. Like, if you look at him now, like, he's slimmer. He's always hanging out, getting at the three, getting jumpers. Like, I'm good off. If I'm other teams, I'm good off Kevin Love if I have a big man. And all the teams I mentioned outside of, even Indiana has got Miles Turner. You don't need Kevin Love. So I just don't see teams really trying to trade for him. And then I think they'll be stuck with him.
Yo, I got an issue here right now. I'm reading Ramona Shelburne's tweets, and she said the Clippers are calling David Griffin, dude.
Oh, shit.
To have him as GM?
Yeah. Like, they're not playing around. Like, they really are trying to, like, they're really going to war right now. Like, the Lakers, we got to start.
They're like Doc Rivers. He's just going to be coach.
I think so. I think they're like. I think. Yeah,
he's done a pretty below average job at GM. Like, he hasn't really. Like, there's been years where he's looked like he's assembled a good team. Like, there's been years where we look at the Clippers, we're like, damn, like, on paper this team could be really good. But they just don't live up to it. Every year they get injured and all the.
Oh, Jesus Christ, dude. Even the assistant is gone. The assistant from the Cavs, he's gone.
Damn, man.
It's a mess.
So from what I read, so Dan Gilbert did not consult whatsoever with LeBron. He's going after Chauncey Billups to make him the next GM. And they said that, obviously, LeBron is not happy with it because he likes Griffin and he wanted Griffin resigned.
Wow, he wanted Griffin resigned?
Yeah.
He's out.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Yeah, he's out. And they said that he was working on damn, I gotta find it. They said that he was working on the Butler deal oh, here we go. So this tweet was like 5 hours ago, so whenever that was. But David Aldridge said that like Griffin was working on the Jimmy Butler deal, I guess an hour prior to getting removed or wherever.
I wonder why he got fired.
Well,
they said that they didn't see eye to eye.
Because his contract just ran out.
Oh, they just didn't sign him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't,
and they said,
I don't understand how you like. I don't know how you. I don't understand. Huh.
They also said that the one main thing that Griffin didn't want to do was trade for Carmelo. So they said that might kind of have like played a role. Maybe not. We'll see. But like that's one of the main things. Like he did not want to go after Carmelo.
See, the thing is, they're getting rid of Kevin Love. I completely agree with not getting Carmelo. Like, I was arguing about with my coworkers because they're like, oh, like get Carmelo. I'm like, okay, who are you gonna get rid of for Carmelo? And trade Kevin Love, blah blah blah. Like Stephen A. Smith, I think even says you should trade Kevin Love for Carmelo because Carmelo is not going to shy away when it's a crucial game, blah, blah, blah. You need players to do different things. Carmelo is not getting you rebounds the way Kevin Love does and flowing the offense the way he does. Like Kevin Love fits way better on that team than Carmelo does. Carmelo is a ball stopper. I mean, maybe he'd play better with LeBron, but that's not getting past the Warriors. Who is spelling LeBron from guarding Durant? Carmelo? No. The only way that the Cavs are getting past the Warriors is if they get Paul George, because Paul George is an elite defender, and that's another guy who can at least put a body on Durant. So the Cavs are crumbling. LeBron will be in L.A. for the wrong team. Actually, he shouldn't be in L.A. at all. He's not welcome. I'm joking.
Okay, so yeah, let's get to that. Let's get to your theory why he doesn't fit the Lakers. Let's go.
Okay. How old will LeBron be when we get him? If we got him, 33, 34. He'll be 33 this year.
Something like that, yeah. 34.
Yeah. So he'll be like 34 years old, 16th season. Clearly he'd be coming to us for his farewell, kind of like last run in the NBA. Which means we'd be paying him, and it would just be a show. Like there's no way we're truly winning with LeBron in sustaining long-term growth. With what we have now, with Brandon Ingram at the 3, Lonzo Ball, we're having a young team, and we're building around Paul George, who's 27. If we get LeBron, that's pretty much us saying bye, Brandon Ingram. If we get Paul George, I mean, that could work maybe for a year or two. That would be nice. Like, kind of try to chase 1 or 2 titles. But I'm not trying to chase 1 or 2 titles. I want to be able to compete for titles over 10-plus years with this nucleus we got. Now, that's just on the Lakers side. Now, if I'm LeBron, it sure as hell doesn't make sense to go to the Lakers because we're clearly rebuilding, and he clearly knows. LeBron's not dumb. He knows that Laker fans are Kobe. You know, he knows about the Kobe versus LeBron. What diehard Laker Kobe fan do you know that appreciates LeBron? Like, you know,
are we talking about Kobe stands or Kobe fans?
I'm talking about the majority of Laker fans during the height of Kobe Bryant. Obviously, now that he's gone, like, people respect LeBron, but
they still hate LeBron. So yeah, you got that.
But respect him. But there's like hate. There's always going to be that, like, okay, you'll never be Kobe talk, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why come to the Lakers and just be another great? I mean, you've had Magic, Shaq, Kobe, Will, like a plethora of players that are Lakers legends. LeBron is all about building his own legacy. The Clippers, they're moving to Inglewood in a brand new stadium. Jerry West in the front office. His best friend, fucking brother, Chris Paul, chasing another ring. You got a center, DeAndre Jordan. You got a hungry front office who's clearly making moves. If David Griffin goes there, that's another exciting piece. So you got that. And the Clippers have never won an NBA title. LeBron is all about building his legacy. He went to Cleveland. He got them the title. He's going to try to go to the Clippers and win a title in LA. And if that happens, I'm going to cry. Because then they're going to start talking about getting a LeBron statue out here and all that. So I think it just doesn't make sense for either side, especially if I'm LeBron. That's why I don't think it'll ever happen, because I don't think LeBron will ever do that. He'll probably give Magic a meeting because out of respect, but he knows that the Lakers' legacy it's too late. He's going to try to build something with the Clippers.
Okay. I mean, look, I think LeBron's going to the Clippers too, so I agree with you. But, okay, so you got Griffin going to the Celtics.
Oh, yeah, I do have Blake Griffin going to the Celtics.
Okay, so you have him and Gordon Hayward going, or just him?
I don't know. Okay. I really have to see what they do with these picks. Remind me again which picks Boston has.
Okay, so they have the third pick overall. Damn, I gotta look it up. I know they have 3 first-round picks next year and 4 first-round picks in 2019.
Jesus Christ.
With the third pick, they're going to select Josh Jackson.
Okay, I said the same thing.
When they get Josh Jackson, pretty much the same position as Gordon Hayward. I think they've made it clear that they're building up for the long run. They have 5 picks, but at the same time, you have Isaiah Thomas in his prime, and you want to maximize that. So if they're not able to get Gordon Hayward, they'll be fine with Josh Jackson. But I really think they're building up for long term. Anthony Davis, I've been saying that all along. They're going to go after Anthony Davis with multiple first-round draft picks. When in a couple of years, when New Orleans isn't going as well as they like, if they don't, that's another tricky thing though, because if they have Blake Griffin, then I'm not sure. But the reason why I think Blake Griffin may go to Boston, I'm not really as strong on that stance as I am with other things, but I think it's going to be I think the Clippers won't really have enough room to really sign Griffin, and they're gearing up for LeBron James. So they're going to do DeAndre Jordan and keep that flexibility open for LeBron James, and I think that's what they're planning for right now. And Blake Griffin wants to also win, and in the East Coast, it's his opportunity to really showcase and be the man out there and be a starting power forward in the All-Star game.
Okay, so I got Griffin staying. I think they're going to still, for some reason, try out this big three. And I have Butler getting traded to the Celtics and Gordon Hayward signing with the Celtics.
I could think Gordon Hayward with the Celtics too.
But and you have Josh Jackson, or are you trading Josh Jackson for Jimmy Butler?
Trading Josh Jackson for Jimmy Butler. That's what I think is going to happen. I think they're going to trade Josh Jackson and a couple of number ones to the Bulls, and the Bulls need to take it because clearly they do not care to keep Butler. So, yeah, they're going to trade him. That's what I think. And they're going to sign Gordon Hayward. So Butler will be a 2, Hayward will be a 3, and they'll just go from there.
But is that enough to win?
You know what? It might not be this year, but anything could happen. Just like Cowherd and them have been saying, like, you never know. Irving might get injured again. If Love stays, he might get injured again. Then it's a whole different ball game.
Yeah.
One of these years, the Cavs are falling.
Yeah. Look, one of these years, LeBron will finally get injured, maybe. Because, my God, he has been so healthy. Hey, how long do we have, by the way?
What was the question?
How long do we have?
Oh, we already passed the 30 minutes. You keep going.
Oh, so does it just stop recording?
Like live it does, but yeah, like I mean, pretty much like as long as I don't click the end episode button, like we should be able to go for a little bit more.
Oh, I see. So you could see how many people are listening?
I have to find that because I don't see that on my switchboard.
But man, that was crazy. But yeah, I'm ready for the draft to be here. I'm ready to get this draft going. I'm ready to get this off season going. I'm ready for football to start. And yeah, let's get it going.
Any thoughts, Pat?
Yeah, I'm like, Pat, you.
No, like I'm listening, and I'm like, first off, I'm way behind on all of this, so that was awesome. So I think the Lakers will be better with Paul George. Of course, I think they go to the playoffs, maybe lose in the second round, if not next year, the year after with Lonzo. But what do you give up for Paul George? Julius Randle had triple doubles. D'Lo is, I think, on the verge of getting really, really good. And with a guy like Lonzo, I think, the sky's almost the limit. I also think you guys are right about Brandon Ingram. I think he should have done better, or at least looked the part of what, the Lakers want to get. So, time will tell. But I think with Paul George on the team, he's 26. He has 10 years. No, he has 15 years left. So if you can get him down, in LA for 10 years, the Lakers have a shot of, making deep playoff runs. But, do they win? I don't know. The Warriors are obviously, here to stay. And that's in regard to the Cavaliers GM situation, kind of scratching my head about that. For his to his credit, they did win a championship. So, it's kind of a tough pill for me to swallow. So I'll read up on that one a little bit more. But I'm ready for the off season too. Football's coming around the corner. Unfortunately, I am a Jets fan, so patience is a virtue in that arena. But yeah, that's what I think.
Cool.